All right, guys. So here we are. We are on film number 5 for the 1889 project. Okay. See, here's the problem. Now, this won't matter to a lot of fans, a lot of drinkers that just love the stuff. But when it comes to the geeks, like the distillation geeks and the whiskey history geeks and all of that, this is a big deal because we got a major problem on our hands. Okay. And I'm hoping we've solved it, but here's the situation. As chefs in the cooking world, we have a thing called the danger zone. It's from 40 to 140. This is why your cooler, your refrigerator, needs to be under 40, 42 max, but under 40 degrees. Usually we keep them between 35 and 40, and that keeps everything safe. It keeps bacteria from growing, okay? And that changes depending on who you talk to and what part of the world up to 45. But basically, we have to pitch yeast under 100. Well, in the food world, what we do, like let's say we make a soup. We cook a soup and we want to cool it down and hold it for the next day or two, right? So we use cooling wands and ice and hyper chillers and things like that to get it through the danger zone quickly, okay? We do the same exact thing in the distillation world because we have to cook at, minimum 150, 160, usually 200-ish or 180, whatever. Everybody's got a different recipe. But we have to cook at a high temperature, and then we have to be under 100 to pitch yeast. Are you with me? That means that there's going to be this lag time inside the danger zone where bacteria can grow. Now, that's not going to hurt the final product when it comes to something that's been distilled. Something that's been distilled has been purified. However, it could kill it before we get a chance to distill it. It could ruin the product. It could rot the product. It could cause all these problems in the flavors. Well, here's the thing. 1889, they didn't have any chillers. They didn't even have ice. So what happens when you cook it and then you just let it cool off? Well, as you know from the previous videos, what we did was we boiled water and dumped it on the grain. Well, that had a great effect. I mean, this stuff bloomed up and blossomed and grew, more than we would normally have it happen. It's beautiful. The problem, of course, is that it stalls above 100. So now it just sits here. I can't throw the yeast in at 130, 140. So why is it so important that I get the yeast in there? Well, if it makes alcohol, the alcohol sterilizes it and protects it, right? That's why beer lasts a long time. That's why wine lasts longer. That's why liquor lasts even longer, or fortified wine, right? The more alcohol, the more sterile it is. So what we would have to do is we need the alcohol to grow. But the problem is we can't put the yeast in. You get it? So this is huge. It's a huge problem. What we're hoping is that bad bacteria and things don't get started. Now, my grandfather didn't know about sour mash either. The reason for the sour mash technique is to change that pH up front. And that also protects it, right? That helps the good stuff get started before the bad stuff can start. Well, we can't do that either. So we can't do anything to protect this. We can't use any technology. So we did row, row, row your boat. We stirred it up. And then we just keep stirring and we just keep waiting. What I'm hoping is that the sugar level is so high, kind of like a cake sitting out, that it will stop the bacteria from growing very quickly. And it cooled enough, and then I pitched the yeast. I pitched the yeast a little warm because it's dangerous, and I know that there's cooler areas and warmer areas. So we'll see. Differences I've noticed so far, it's much thicker than normal. It's not crazy thicker than normal, but it's thicker than normal, it's lumpier than normal, and it's much more difficult than normal. Those are all things that I've noticed so far. But this is the 1889 experiment, and we're doing everything old school, so we'll see what we get. I hope there's more videos in the future.